Hi there, BookTube! My name is Christina and welcome back to Novel Niche. Today I'm here with a video that I don't remember if I filmed last year actually, but I really decided to do it this year anyways, so maybe it's a series, maybe it's the first time that I'm filming it, who knows. But I decided to go through all of the most anticipated books that I were anticipating in 2020 and see what happened to the hype pretty much. Because let's face it, here on BookTube we often see a lot of books that are very hyped up, or we hype up some books for ourselves and then they just vanish, disappear in the thin air because we don't even know why. And so I just wanted to go through them. Since last year I had quite a long list, I decided to go through the first part of the books. So I will be going through the books that were released between the beginning of 2020 and the end of spring, I believe, or the beginning of summer. So around that kind of time lapse. And without further ado, let me get into these books. Let's see if I read them, if I got them, if I still remember them, because maybe I don't, who knows. So here I have my list and let's start this journey into the past. In 2020, a year that I'm not sure I want to relive entirely. Like the first part was okay, but around spring it got definitely messy for everyone, everywhere. Yeah, let's not talk about that. So the first book that I have here is Tea Dragon Tapestry, and I'm so glad that it's the first one that we have here because it's actually one about which I'm still excited, and it has been postponed till summer or autumn 2021, so it will be released this year and I'm still hoping to read it. It will be pure joy because Tea Dragon Society is just the perfect book to feel better and cozy and happy, and if you're in for something like that, go give this graphic novel a chance. We have 2 books out and this will be the third one. Then we have Magical Language of Others. And this is still on my TBR. I got an ebook for this one. It has a beautiful cover. I believe that it's a contemporary, but I don't remember much more. I think that it's by an Asian author or by an Asian American author, but I don't remember more than that. I just remember the cover and it was beautiful, so I will put it here. Then I have Woman in Moonlight, and I decided not to go for that one. First of all because my excitement kinda died, and then because I remember reading a bunch of quite negative reviews from people who are from that culture. I don't remember if Woman by Midnight was like Bolivian inspired, like with some Bolivian mythology or cultural setting, and I remember seeing a bunch of things of people telling that they weren't very happy with the representation, so I don't know, my excitement kind of died before that, and then I read that, so I just kind of deleted it from my wish list. Then I have Loveboy Taipei, and this one I started it, I tried it as an audiobook and it wasn't working for me. I kind of listened to less than an hour, I believe, and I DNF'd it. I don't know what it was, the contemporary teenage setting or the fact that I wasn't enjoying the main protagonist and the way she was speaking or her parents, I don't know. I just gave up, so it's a DNF for me. I know that a lot of people loved it, it's just for me personally, it's a DNF. Then I have From the Desk of Zoe Washington, and this is actually one that I listened to, I loved it, I gave it 5 stars. It's a middle grade, it's a contemporary middle grade, and it's amazing because we're following a very unique, in my opinion, concept. Zoe Washington is our main protagonist and she loves baking, she wants to become a famous baker in the future, and she's kind of pursuing this big dream. But together with this plot, we're following what's happening like in her family, and her dad, her biological dad, is in prison, and he tells that he's not guilty. and so she wants to understand better, and it deals with the justice system in America, and it deals with the program of protection of innocent people, and it's a black family, so it's even more important because, as I think that at this point everybody should know, and if you don't know, then watch some documentaries, read a little bit more, and you will know that unfortunately there is a huge amount of cases of people of color being judged unjustly. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology right now, but you're having an idea. And this is the middle grade talking about that, and I loved it. It was done beautifully in my opinion, and I really enjoyed that book. Plus, I discovered one of my favorite songs of last year thanks to it, and it's Hanging There Little Tomato, adorable. And then we have Saving Savannah, and it is still on my TBR, on my audiobook TBR. So I got it through Storytel, and I still have it there, and sooner or later I hope to get to that. Then we have Dreamland, and nope, I don't remember anything about that book, and I kind of decided not to read it, probably because it wasn't available on Storytel, and I wasn't enjoying the concept enough probably to buy a physical book or an ebook, so it's a no. Then we have Friendship, and I believe it's a non-fiction, so it's still on my wish list. It's a non-fiction that I still hope to get to in the future as a physical book, probably. Then we have You Never Forget Your First, and this is again a non-fiction one about Washington, and I would love to read it as a physical book in the future, so it's still here on my wish list and it will be staying here. Then I have Below, and again this one too is still on my wish list. I cannot find it as an audiobook, so I hope to buy a physical book. I adore this cover, and the general concept of it, I remember loving it. It's a fantasy. It's about, I believe, a girl who's searching for her sister because her sister's face has been stolen or something like that. There is a faceless demon or someone who's stealing faces. I don't know. It was just interesting. I have very vague memories, you see, about it, but that's a book that I still hope to read. Even if I've read that the reviews weren't so great, I still want to give it a chance because it seems kind of original. And then we have The Stars We Steal, and I own it as an ebook, and I believe as an audiobook too, so I think that I will read it sooner or later. Then The Blossom and the Firefly, and it was a historical fiction about the Second or the First World War. I don't remember right now. But I think that realistically speaking, I won't get to this one, even if it has an interesting premise and it was set in Japan, I believe. So maybe in the future, but right now it's a no. Then we have When We Were Magic, and I read this ebook. I rated it 4 stars, I believe. This book went places. When I read it, I wasn't expecting what I got. It's kind of teenage witches doing strange magic, and the story starts in the most absurd way, like the very first page. It's a girl and a boy, and they're about to have a very intimate encounter. I don't know how to tell it without telling it, because I don't know if I can tell it here on BookTube. Yeah, I can, I'm an adult. I mean, yeah, they're about to have sex. And pretty much something goes very wrong from there, very wrong, and the girl after teams up with a lot of her friends, and they try to solve the mess that happened. Yeah, this is very big like that, but I will keep it at that. Just know that it's strange, but there is magic, there is a bit of teen drama, it's an LGBTQ plus story, so that aspect was lovely, but it was unexpected. Yeah. Then we have Witches of Ash and Ruin, and it's still on my TBR as an ebook. Sooner or later I will read it. Then Criers Moon, I own it as an audiobook on Storytel, so it's still on my TBR. The Dragon Egg Princess, again, I own it as an audiobook and I will give it a chance in the future. The Perfect World of Miwako Sumido, and it's a no for me just because during time kind of the hype died for me. I don't have a precise reason for it. Then the Empress of Salt, and it's still on my TBR as an ebook. Wish in the Dark, again, I believe that this one is a middle grade and it's still on my TBR for that reason, as an ebook probably. And then Conjure Women is a book that I'm still kinda hoping to read pretty soon, and I own it as an audiobook on Storytel, so I hope to get into it. Raise the Sands, the same, it's a fantasy, I believe it's a standalone fantasy, so it will forever stay on my TBR till I read it, because those are rare and we should cherish them. So I own it on Storytel. And then If I Had Your Face, this one I'm still interested in and it's on my TBR as an ebook. And the last one is The Kingdom of Liars, and I don't remember a thing about this one, so I believe that it's a no, just because if I don't remember anything, probably I wasn't that much interested in it. From the title, I believe that it's a fantasy, maybe it's a series, but we already have so many of those that nope. And this is it. This is the first part of my list. Towards like maybe at the end of autumn I will film the second part with the second part of the books in which I was interested at the end of 2020. And I hope that you enjoy this strange concept for a video. Not so strange, but like new maybe, for me at least, on this channel. And let me know down below if you have any books that you were hyping up and then you kind of changed idea, or kind of your interest just died meanwhile and you decided not to read it anymore. If you have any cases like that, please let me know, because I'm curious. Or if you have any books that you were interested in 2020 and that you actually read this year or last year, again, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye! Ciao!